Harry's war on the British tabloids just imploded in open court. His legal team jumped ship mid-trial. Key journalists hit back hard. And the man who claims victimhood now looks like he's on a personal vendetta. This isn't justice, it's a public humiliation. Stay with us, this is Brutal, where we cut through the spin and lay out the facts. Tonight we break down the disaster unfolding in London's High Court. Harry's case against Associated Newspapers, the Daily Mail Group, is crumbling. His lawyers are resigning, and the defense is dismantling his victim narrative piece by piece. If you're new here or want every raw update, hit subscribe right now, turn on notifications, and join the Royal Daily Report family. Channel name on screen, Royal Daily Report. Let's get into it. Okay, so Harry and Meghan bounced from the UK, claiming they wanted privacy and all that jazz. Well, turns out, his latest attempt to hold the tabloids accountable is spiraling into a full-blown disaster. The Duke of Sussex has been on this crusade for years, accusing the British press of illegally gathering information on him and his family. But right now, in open court, the whole thing is collapsing before our eyes. The big turning point. Key members of Harry's own legal team have jumped ship, resigned mid. That's not a minor setback. That's like your star quarterback walking off the field in the middle of the game. Insiders are saying it wasn't just a reshuffle. It was a strategic retreat. They saw the writing on the wall, a sinking ship, and got out before it went down completely. The case centers on Harry's sweeping accusations against Associated Newspapers. Limited, the Daily Mail, and Mail on Sunday People. He's claiming illegal activity, conspiracies, phone hacking, private investigators, the whole 9 yards. But the defense came out swinging, and they got personal. Really personal. Harry's targeting 2 prominent royal journalists, Rebecca English, royal editor at the Daily Mail, and Katie Nicholl, spelled Nicholl, author and broadcaster. He's accusing them of criminal behavior for digging up dirt on him and his circle. But Associated Newspapers is painting a completely different picture. They're saying Harry isn't some innocent victim of shady press tactics. He actually participated in the circus, played the game, and benefited from it at times. Specifically, they went after Katie Nicholl. She used to be the diary editor for the Mail on Sunday and is a well-known TV talking head. The defense is claiming she wasn't some sneaky snoop. Harry himself invited her to a private party back in 2011 at Kensington Roof Gardens. They stayed in touch afterward, ran in the same social circles. That's a far cry from a criminal conspiracy, isn't it? And Nicholl's response was blunt. No, Harry, you invited me to come and party with you. Ouch, that stings. It completely undermines his victim narrative and makes it look like he's got a personal vendetta against someone he actually knew and socialized with. The case against Rebecca English is similar. Harry's lead lawyer, David Sherburne, tried to show an email from 2010 where English was supposedly trying to get flight details for Harry's then-girlfriend, Chelsea Davy, from a private jet company. Sherburne argued it proved she was using illegal methods. But the defense shot that down too, saying the email didn't prove anything criminal. They pointed to English's long, legitimate career as a journalist and her professional access during Harry's time as a working royal. The combined effect is devastating for Harry. It humanizes these journalists, makes them seem like they're just doing their jobs, and it makes Harry look like he's on a personal witch hunt, exaggerating things and blurring the lines between normal journalism and actual criminal activity. You could see the toll it was taking on him in court. He looked stressed, older, miserable. The irony is thick, right? The guy who spent years complaining about press intrusion is now sitting in a courtroom with the entire world watching his every move as he tries to destroy the careers of these journalists. And the fact that his legal team is bailing, that's huge. It shows they've lost faith in his case. One legal analyst said that when solicitors walk away like that, it's because they think their client's instructions are unsustainable or the evidence has completely fallen apart. They're not abandoning the law, they're abandoning Harry's version of events. It's brutal, but that's how it is. For Harry, this is a disaster, plain and simple. This case was supposed to be the cornerstone of his and Meghan's whole crusade against the UK media. They framed it as this moral battle, good versus evil. But if it collapses, it's more than just a legal defeat. It's a huge symbolic blow. It undermines his credibility, makes him look like he's just a whiner who can't handle the press. And let's not forget the legal bills. If he loses, he could be on the hook for a ton of money. But even worse, It could cement this public perception of him as relentlessly combative, unable to tell the difference between legitimate criticism and actual malice. It makes him look thin-skinned, like he can't take the heat. Meanwhile, these reporters are coming out looking pretty good. They're not the faceless villains Harry's painted them to be. They're established professionals defending their reputations. Katie Nicholl, who just beat cancer, and Rebecca English, who's been covering the royals for years. They're fighting back. They're saying Harry's narrative is BS, that he's rewriting history to make himself look better. The whole trial has shifted. It's not just about what these journalists did 10 years ago. It's become a referendum on Harry's judgment, his relationship with the truth, and whether he's just waging a personal war. And the fact that his lawyers are bailing is the clearest sign yet that he's losing. The image of him sitting in that courtroom, it was pretty stark. He looked miserable, diminished, like a little kid in a suit that's too big for him. This was supposed to be his big moment, his chance to finally get back at the tabloids. Instead, it's turning into a public meltdown. And where's Meghan in all of this? She's an ocean away in Montecito. Radio silence. No public displays of support. No holding his hand as he walks into court. Nothing. For a couple who built their brand on this U.S. against the world narrative, her absence is deafening. It screams volumes. He moved his family across the world to protect them, and now he's standing alone, facing the music. Sources are saying the atmosphere around Harry is tense, despondent. The legal team's resignation wasn't just a tactical setback, it was a vote of no confidence. They're basically saying his case is a loser. This leaves him exposed, not just legally, but emotionally. His misery in court isn't just about the tough questions he's facing. It's about watching his whole identity, his righteous victimhood, being torn apart in front of everyone. The testimony has been brutal. It attacks his narrative of being unilaterally persecuted. The stories about him inviting Katie Nicholl to parties, about their social contact, it paints a much more complicated picture. It suggests that he was an active participant in the media game, that he benefited from it at times. Having your past reinterpreted like that so publicly, it's got to be disorienting. He's not just fighting a newspaper. He's fighting a version of his own history, and he's losing. This whole thing highlights a major contradiction in Harry's post-royal life. He and Meghan built a freaking empire on their personal story, selling documentaries, books, and podcasts. But when the most important legal chapter of that story is being written, he's on his own. Meghan's absence suggests a strategic retreat. She's distancing herself from this mess. She's had her own run-ins with the press, but she's clearly decided this is Harry's battle to fight, and maybe to lose. You can see the emotional toll on him, his posture, his distant gaze, the lack of that defiant energy he used to have. He looks miserable. He's caught between two worlds, the one he was born into, which he claims rejected him, and the one he built, which doesn't seem to be supporting him now. That California dream is looking pretty distant right now. Ultimately, Harry's misery is a symptom of a bigger strategic failure. He tried to transplant the dynamics of a royal feud, where you can just put out statements and rely on friendly media, into a court of law. But the courtroom doesn't care about narratives. It cares about evidence, cross-examination, and cold, hard facts. Meghan, the architect of their media strategy, isn't there because there's no media strategy left to execute. There's just a case, and it's falling apart. The judge, the press gallery, the empty chair where Meghan should be sitting. It's all converging to create this crushing pressure. He wanted to be seen as a warrior for justice, but he looks like a stranded soldier. His allies have left. His fortress of solitude has been revealed to be just that, solitary. His misery isn't just personal. It's the result of a campaign that mistook publicity for power and confession for clout. And in a court of law, neither is enough. That's our full report tonight on Royal Daily Report. What do you think? Is this the beginning of the end for Harry's media crusade? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this breakdown hit hard, subscribe now to Royal Daily Report. Hit the bell for notifications, like this video, and share it with anyone following the real royal drama. We'll keep tracking every twist in the courtroom and bring you the next update as it breaks. Thanks for watching. Stay informed, stay critical. Royal Daily Report, signing off. See you next time.